Guess what? I finally made my first investment in Bitcoin. I've been trying to do this for years, but every time I try to learn about this and cryptocurrencies, it would just get so confusing. If you want to learn about the world of cryptocurrencies and are too overwhelmed, this is the video to start. I've spent the last few months diving into Bitcoin and come up with a useful guide so you don't have to. Big picture first. You do not need to understand the tech behind cryptocurrencies to start investing in it. You just need to know enough about Bitcoin to trust in it. And the best way to learn is by doing. I'm a big believer in that process. If you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Romy. On this channel, we cover all cool tech tools which I promise will change your everyday life. If you want to learn about things like Bitcoin, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Now, let's make some money. Let's get this heavy word out of the way and start with some basics. What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin started in 2009 and is the world's first and largest cryptocurrency. Like any other cryptocurrency, it's digital, decentralized, which means it doesn't depend on any bank or central authority to make a transaction. The way it does it is through cryptography. I knew I threw a lot of terms, so let's break this down. Bitcoin is a digital currency, which means you can't touch it or physically give it to someone. I know we're used to a lot of digital payments these days, but you can't withdraw Bitcoin at an ATM. Bitcoin is decentralized, which means it doesn't depend on any central authority to make a transaction. Now, this is really big because every other currency before Bitcoin always did. Traditionally, money and what it's worth depends on the government and the bank. That gives them a lot of power. There are some upsides to it. Having a bank helps us identify fraud in certain cases, but there are downsides as well. If you look at what happened in Venezuela a few years ago, their currency was quite valuable. But because of the political climate, it has suddenly become almost worthless. The government can decide to print money whenever they want, so it's quite not as scarce as we think it is. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is designed to be capped at 21 million Bitcoin. There just cannot be any more Bitcoin in existence. Banks and credit cards charge fees. International transactions can be difficult and costly. Bitcoin fees, on the other hand, are absolutely minimal. The place where a record of transactions is stored is called a ledger. Like in your bank statements. The way Bitcoin achieves decentralization is this ledger is available to every single person on the network. That's what makes it so foolproof and censor-proof. You can't possibly tamper with all of them. It keeps the details of the ledger anonymous through cryptography. We are not going to go into the underlying tech today, but that's why Bitcoin is also called a cryptocurrency. That's the crypto relation, which we just decrypted. There are many other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. You may have heard of Ethereum, the world's second largest cryptocurrency, or the Elon Musk hyped Dogecoin. Alright, back to my investing journey and how I took the leap with investing in Bitcoin. One of the easiest ways to buy Bitcoin is through a crypto exchange. These exchanges help you convert your money into a cryptocurrency and vice versa. In my case, USD to Bitcoin. If you Google crypto exchanges, there are a lot of them. One of the most popular ones, which you may have heard of, is Coinbase. The way these exchanges work is they charge you a fee for converting your money into Bitcoin and withdrawing it. The exchange I went with is Swan. That's because the fees of Swan were lower than the fees of Coinbase. Coinbase fees can be as high as 4% for buying Bitcoin and as high as 2% for withdrawing it. Swan, on the other hand, had a fees of 1% for buying with no fees for withdrawing. So it was kind of a no-brainer. I created an account of Swan and it took me 2 days to get verified. Well, that's because my driver's license had expired and I needed to give them another photo ID. Now look, all these crypto exchanges have strict verification processes and you will need a photo ID. That's because you're dealing with payments and money. So just don't plan to start it on the day you find Bitcoin selling at the lowest price. The amount I decided to invest was $1,000 to start with. Now, the way I came up with this number was that if I completely lost it tomorrow, I would be okay with it. So just find a similar number for yourself. Don't get bothered by the Bitcoin prices. The day I decided to invest in Bitcoin, Bitcoin was almost at $52,000 per Bitcoin. Now, just a couple of days ago, it was almost at $40,000 per Bitcoin. Because it's a new currency, and if you look at the Bitcoin price tracker, it shows a lot of volatility. You do not need to buy a whole Bitcoin. So don't worry if you don't have $52,000 or whatever the price of Bitcoin is today. You just need to buy a fraction of Bitcoin. And you can actually buy 1/100th millionth of a Bitcoin, which is less than $1. Most investment advice I've read suggests that you should put 2 to 3% of your savings into Bitcoin. I totally plan on doing that in the next few months. The actual process of buying Bitcoin through Swan was super easy. It was just a few clicks, like Buying something off Amazon. I mean, it didn't feel like a big step, but mentally it was. I guess I'm a Bitcoin investor now? By the way, I totally plan on keeping this Bitcoin for at least 5 to 10 years. I have a very long-term approach towards investing, and there are people who actually buy and sell Bitcoin on a daily basis, but I don't plan to go down that route. Now, once you buy Bitcoin through an exchange, you actually don't own it. The exchange does. Your transaction details at this point are not even part of the Bitcoin ledger we talked about. To actually own Bitcoin, you have to withdraw it into a wallet. We're going to go into the details of wallets in the next video. I went ahead and bought a Trezor Model 1, which we'll unbox together. I think this whole concept is so amazing. I mean, at the end of the day, Bitcoin is about removing the middleman and is such a great equalizer. I mean, think of it, if we can do this in something as important as money, think of all the other areas it applies to. Social networks, Uber, Amazon. I'm interested in hearing your comments on Bitcoin after this video. Do you think it's a useful currency? And if you did invest in it, please tell me about it in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, please leave a like. If you want to keep up with my investing journey and learn more about Bitcoin, please subscribe to this channel. Until next time, bye.